don't forget to subscribe for more reviews. Please also like. Thank you.
What are you thinking about?
Same thing you are.
Hello everyone, this is Tom, and today we have the privilege of taking a look at the DX9 War in Pocket Warrior Hulkie. Now I know I'm coming to this one kind of late, but that's okay because I eventually intend to have him scaled and shown off with the Dinobots, and you know their video should have came before this one, so it's all good. So what I'm going to do is, you'll see this introduction at the start of each one of these videos. There should be a total of 4 videos. I'll start off showing the pair of the legs, then I'll go to the arms, and then I'll go to the body. And I'll just do 2 figures per video. So let's quickly go over the box. Here's the front of the box, side of the box, product shots, bottom of the box, don't need anything in here, more product shots. Upside down product shots, there's more product shots. That's the front. And here is a shot of their tech specs, which again, you can't read, much like their Dinobots. You've got their Cyclonus, their Galvatron, their Sweeps, and their Medic, and their other releases that they had up to that time. So, like I said, this is an older release, and they're teased here with their Megatron, which I think I've already reviewed. So, let's get these guys out of the box, take a look at them, if I can get the box open. Oh, that's not the side that I opened, is it? No, I didn't. I opened up this side. Maybe. Cut the tape on this one. Ah! Get out here. So I've already had these out. I've had this for a while, I just never have reviewed it. So, alright. Empty box. Alright. Box down. You get these guns and 2 hands in this little baggie. You get instructions for all of them. And you get all of them in this little plastic clamshell. Now, like I said, we will be reviewing each of these individually. We'll do these 2 first. Then we'll jump to... no, we'll do this one and this one first. Then we'll jump to this one, and then this one, and this one. So, alright. Let's see here. I'm going to pause right here because I'm going to do initial impressions on each one separately. So, okay. Long haul. Now, DX9 refers to long haul as carrier. And that's okay. I don't care what they really call him. Lengthwise, he is approximately from tip to tip, he's just shy of 3 inches. Height-wise, he's coming in at about 1.5 inches. Let's see here. Here's how he scales next to Bumblebee. And he's pretty much Bumblebee size. Here's how he scales next to Cyberverse Ultra Magnus. Give you a sense of scale there. Initial impressions. He's got some heft to him too. He's got some die-cast in him. And I think that's centered down here in this area. So, yeah, he's okay. He's alright. Alright, so now it's time to transform Long Haul. And his transformation is simple but satisfying. So, he's got this junk off his trunk. I don't know what else to call it. He still rolls. He does kind of drag down here a little bit, and there's not really anything I've found that really helps a whole lot with that. You can push it up, and it does help some, but it does still kind of drag a little bit right there. You can maneuver this however you wish to your satisfaction. to make it look however you want. Just be aware it's going to drag. Alright, so to transform him, lift these two panels up right here, which will unpeg from right here. Okay? This will free up the legs, which you can rotate down like this. Separate the legs. They just pin together right here with this one peg. Take these two panels and flip them up. And basically, that's your legs done. Now, your arms are pegged in right here. These are your arms. Simply just pull them up. And rotate them, slide them out. There's a little bit of a slider right here. Slide it and rotate them around, and then push your slider back in. You can see the slider right there. Just push it back in. Orientate, is that a word? Orientate? Orientate your arms properly. Lift up your head. Rotate it around. If you notice, the head is on a ball joint. Now, take this junk in his trunk piece and rotate it around to the back for right now. There's a hinge right here. Collapse his waist. Take the junk in the trunk and move it to the back. Collapse this bit on down so that his legs are actually centered properly. And then you can do whatever you want to with the junk in the trunk. I just kind of leave it there. And this will snap into place, and here he is. This is Long Haul. They refer to him as Carrier in his robot mode. And he looks pretty good. Size comparisons. Let's do size comparisons real quick. Here he is with Cosmos, and he's pretty much head-to-head with Cosmos. And here he is with Pipes. And again, he's pretty much head-to-head with both of them. Okay, let's pull out the old ruler. And looks to me like he's actually standing higher than 3.5. I'd say he's 3.25, every bit of. Shoulder-wise, I'd say 2.5. Yeah, every bit of. Okay, so articulation. His head we did see was on a ball joint. He has a ball joint for a head. All right. He's got some really nice red paint on that visor. His shoulders, you can get sort of like a little bit of a butterfly coming forward, but you don't do much with that, and a little bit back if you use that slider joint, but it's intended to go in and stay like that. With that in mind, his arms will come up to right there. Okay, you can do a full 360 with them. He's got a 90-degree elbow bend. 90-degree elbow bend. His hands are one piece, as we have seen throughout this entire set. He has no waist swivel. His legs will indeed allow him to do full Chinese splits. Alright, let's see. Now, full front kick. Let's move the junk in the trunk out of the way and see if we can get, yes, he can do the full American splits. But he does have this junk in the trunk stuff, so just be mindful of that. That is something that you have to maneuver around. Oh, there was one step in the transformation I didn't mention. You have to pull these back. They just collapse in. There's they're pinned right here, just a hinge. So now, if you want a really dynamic look, there you go. Okay, so that's his articulation. That's what he gets. Alright, so to get this guy into combined mode, we basically just put him back into truck mode. Simple enough, right? Okay, pull everything back. And I'm just going to kind of do this promptly so that we don't have a whole lot of time here spent just, watching somebody do something, because sometimes that annoys me, which is fine. I mean, people do things all the time that annoy me, and, we get on with our lives. Alright, so we basically do this, we basically do this, basically. Okay, and then these flip up. Okay, now he's in truck mode. Okay, so to get him into combined mode, basically what we do is we take this, we leave these the way that they are, we separate the legs. Okay, come on. Bring them out to the side and down. I guess we can pull those in if we really want. Okay. Bring this up. And we rotate this crotch piece around so that it will cover properly. And that huge, just like that. So, alright, I didn't explain that at all, did I? Okay, so let me explain what I did. We basically left the top part of the cab exactly the way that it was. We took the back part of the cab and we brought it around as if we were going to transform the legs. Oh, forgot something. We've got to reach in here and we've got to get out our connector ports, which are a bear to get out. Whether you've got a tool or not, pull out your connector ports, put that back. There we go. Pull out your connector port, put that back. Okay, so here are his regular legs. We just extended them out, and you can see we put out the junk in the trunk there. We collapsed the waist just the same way we would if he was going into his own robot mode. And we can just adjust these as necessary to make it solid, just like that. This will plug into Bone Crusher or Mixmaster, and this will plug into Scrapper, just like that. And he's complete. Okay. Here we have initial impressions for DX9's Hoister. This is G1 hook. He has heft to him too. They've used die cast, and I can tell you right exactly where it is here. It's right here on his chest plate for robot mode. Size wise, he is measuring in at 2 3/4 inches. Width wise, he's about 1 1/4 inches. Here he is next to Bumblebee. Sense of scale there. Okay. And Cyberverse Ultra Magnus. Okay. Obviously these are wee bitty. So I don't know how they're going to scale next to the Dinobots, but we'll find out. Alright, and lastly here we are with Hook, and whom they call Hoister. And he has, I would say, the simplest transformation of the 6. It's really simple here, folks. We lift up the crane, we disconnect these 2 arms right here, we move the arm down, there's a hinge right here. Now my ball joint keeps popping off right here, so I have to be careful. Move the arm down, rotate it and orientate it so that it's in the proper configuration here. These are his legs. You just pull them down, separate, pull the crane down, and bam, you got a robot. How quick was that? We transformed this guy in less than a minute, folks. How good was that? Now, articulation-wise, his head is solid. It's not going to move. Actually, his crane's attached to it. His arms are on a ball joint. They go all the way around. They go up to there. His elbows on a ball joint, you get 90 degrees. And you get your, see that keeps popping off. You get your bicep swivel right there. Okay, and the hands are fixed piece. No waist swivel or articulation of any kind. He can do the Chinese splits just fine. And he can do the American... Can he? Yeah, it's just his feet are funky looking. He can do the American splits just fine too. Okay, no foot articulation. Yeah, that's him. That's him. That's everything there is to him. Hook is not a very dynamic individual right here. Size comparison wise, here he is with Cosmos, and here he is with Pipes. Okay, and the last thing on this agenda for this last figure here, size is tip of his head. It's just cresting 3.5 inches, and from shoulder to shoulder, he's just barely, I mean just barely past 2 inches. Okay. Alright, so to put this guy into combine mode is really not all that difficult. Here's what we do. First thing we do is we combine the legs, put him back into his vehicle mode. So let's put him back into vehicle mode. Combine the legs, put the arms back here, rotate, put the ball joint back on, put this back where it belongs, rotate, and put it back on the ball joint. And plug that back in, and now here he is back in his vehicle mode. Now, we start with this arm, we untab it, and we simply rotate it on the ball joint and bring it straight down so that it's like this. Okay? We take this arm, hopefully it won't pull off the ball joint, rotate it around, and have it so that it's facing this way with this post facing down. Next we take the hook and we bring it all the way back. Oh, sorry. We bring it down like this and we split it. And that forms his classic Devistator wing. Okay. Next we come and we pull out the head, which is nestled in this cavity right here. Rotate around, and there's a Devistator head looking at us. Split the legs, okay, and they're on these two little sliding, rotating joints right here. There's a notch right here. Boy, I never noticed, but there's some sloppy paint right there. There's a notch on both sides, and there's a notch right here on both sides, corresponding. Rotate these around and plug that in right there on both sides. Get in there. Don't be that way. You may have to move your wing out of the way a little bit. There we go. Once you get that in, there is a port right here and a tab right here. You can go ahead and plug your wing in right there, and it should stay relatively. Plug this side in just like that. Plug your wing in to the corresponding tab port there. Make sure all that lines up properly. And there you have Hook's combined form. Okay, so the next bit is to combine all 6 of them.
Thank you for watching my Papa's channel. Please subscribe and like. Thank you.
Vitamin John. Operators are standing by.